How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 25. Moving into episode number 31 for the first half of year number 9, the 2032-33 regular season. Now, before we get started, I have a very important question for all of you viewers out there, so hang on before you skip ahead. A question I'd love to hear your thoughts on down in the comments or in our Discord server. Now we're getting close to wrapping up this series. We're not there just yet, don't get scared. But now that we've completed 30 episodes and 8 seasons with the Islanders, I want to be mindful moving into the summer that I'm getting married in about 2 months from now, and I'd like to have this series fully wrapped up by, say, mid-June, of course, of 2025. So if that's about, time of upload, we're at the end of May, maybe 55, 60 days from now, and my average is about an episode every 5 days, that means we're about 11 or 12 episodes from the end of this series. Now, in previous series, we've done about 10 seasons episodically, and then 5 seasons of live streams, where one live stream is the entirety of 1 year. Off-season, season, postseason. Now, those streams are doable, but they do take about 4 hours at a time. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. How would you envision the rest of this series? Episodically until the end of year 10, year 11, year 12, then maybe episodically again, but kind of like in the tactics version, where it's, yes, the off-season, season, and postseason in one episode, but recorded, so I can take the 4 hours of footage and boil it down to maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then maybe one big wrap-up for year number whatever it is, 16, 17, 18, or even a couple, and that would be in a live stream fashion. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. What would your ideal end of this series look like? We're definitely not ending it within the next, 3 episodes, but now that we're through 30 episodes and 8 seasons, I want to be mindful of what our trajectory is towards the end of this series. So, speech over. Please get me your thoughts on that down in the comments or in the Discord server, and let's get started. The reigning Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders are ready for year number 9 here on the island. In the last one, we had a pretty quiet offseason in terms of new faces. Definitely, as the last episode was entitled, Payday for Bo Horvat after his career 111-point season, 2 years at $10.5 million. He was making under $5 million as he signed that last contract as like an 83, back up to an 89, and now he's making 10.5 for the next 2 years on a full no-move clause. And Brock Besser now at an 87 after his 55 goal season. He signed for 1 year instead, but still at $10 million on a full no-move clause. So we're spending a lot of money on our veterans here in the top 6. We saw some growth as well. Alexeyev up to an 86, Hakana at an 83, Nazarov joining the NHL team as a 79, Pispinen up to an 82, all right. And on defense, George Bates joining the team from the AHL, 79 overall offensive defenseman, former first-round pick in 2028. Engqvist 82, Hornqvist 84. Goaltending, Augustine still an 82. Stepan, who was the big story in the postseason 2 episodes ago. If you didn't catch that, our wild Stanley Cup run that saw the 71 overall go 9-3-1, 1 shutout, 933 save percentage, and 1.97 goals against average. All of that with low lead potential to grow to a 72 overall. Great. So Augustine, Stepan, and the newly acquired Igor Loktyanov will be our 3-headed monster, hopefully, for the goaltending. 79 overall, medium fringe starter. We gave him a 2-year deal, paying him $1 million per year. The former 4th-round pick of the Oilers. Welcome aboard. Arturi, 13th forward. Boldzuk, 7th D. And this is our team rolling into our 9th regular season on the island of the GM Data era. Here's the AHL team if you're curious. We're mostly focused on getting growth from Brock Summers, who was a 4th-round pick of ours. Sniper with medium top 6 potential, 76 overall at 20 years of age. And also on defense, Bernard Gervais-Chouinard, 6'5" defenseman who was the last pick of the 2029 draft, 224th overall. So we'll see what kind of growth we can get from him as well. So moving into year number 9, we will have huge extensions to consider for next offseason. We wanted to look at maybe possibly signing some of those right now, but no, none of the AGMs even suggested it. The numbers are way too crazy. Porter Martone right now would want 2 years at $13 million, 8 years at $18 million. The game just doesn't know what it's saying. Kevin, who's making $4 million right now, would want 8 years at $17.25 million. The game just doesn't get it. So we're going to put all extension talk on hold. I won't even think about it until the end of this episode, and we're at the halfway point to consider stuff for next episode. So I just want to keep that in mind. We will have a lot of money. Like if you look on the right here, we'll have, let's see, close to $40 million of extension available to us. Porter Martone will get his money, Keevan will get his money, Hornqvist, Hakana, they'll get their money, and then we'll see what happens on Vesser and Barzal, who are two veterans who are 35, taking up $20.6 million. So a lot to think about for year number 10, but now we're moving into year number 9. So with all that recapped, we can start thinking about the 2032-33 regular season. Through 8 years with the Islanders, we've been to 4 of the last 5 Stanley Cup Finals, and we've also won 2 of the last 4 Stanley Cups. So if we could win 3 Cups in 5 years here in 2033, that would really go a long way for the dynastic conversation. But still, 4 Cup Finals in 5 years, you got to give it to us. You may have also seen scrolling at the bottom, I signed a couple of AHL defensemen. Nothing big to talk about, just a couple of players to fill some of the gaps. And now we can also just take a quick peek at a couple of the AGM comments left in the last one. Not much to say after a pretty straightforward offseason. Sam said, "Hi Data, only leaving a quick comment today. Fantastic offseason. I'm very happy with the trade up for Breland. I'll talk about him in a moment. And very happy that we didn't need to pay as much as I'd hoped. As for the trade blocks, I think we're content with what we have for now, unless we want a better depth piece, though that can wait until the midpoint or the trade deadline. Brilliant episode as always, and I'm looking forward to the start of the next season. Go Isles." Thank you, Sam. Breland, who Sam is referring to there, is the Ukrainian centerman who we drafted with the 9th overall selection in this past offseason's 2032 draft. So a power forward centerman with medium league potential. The Senators wanted to trade that pick. We had excess value of Dylan Cousins. We moved to first, Cousins, and one of our better prospects in Russ Simpson, plus the rights to Fajmo, XYZ, a couple other little things, and we picked up the 9th overall pick and drafted Boris Breland. Hopefully a future top 6 centerman for us, crossing our fingers with that medium league potential. I am very hopeful for Boris Breland, and Sam had a great suggestion to make that trade. The AGMs agreed, so we went ahead and did it. The Hockey Sniper also left a comment saying, "Hey Data, I will start by saying you should ask Brock Besser to move to the left wing, we have him playing there right now, and George Bates to move to the right D, as they will be playing there for this season. As for my regular trade ideas, I like the idea of either Hendrix Lapierre from Tampa or Connor McMichael from Calgary. Both are 83 overall centermen on expiring deals. I think a trade of Arcuri and a mid to low draft pick would be worth one of them since they're a decent overall and you don't have a 4th line center. It would make your team better, but the young guys will have room next year once Bo, Barzal, and McMichael or Lapierre will be gone. Hope we win another cup, and let's go Isles." Thank you, Hockey Sniper. So when we consider an addition for this team, definitely 4th line center sticks out to us, as Nazarov is a winger who's having to play there just because we want to give him the ice time. Andre Nazarov, sniper with 70 faceoffs, 2nd round pick in 2028 with the 87 shooting accuracies. We want to give him ice time. Pispinen has the 93 shooting accuracies, so that's crazy sniping right there. I don't feel as though we can take out any of these 3 guys on the 4th line. Ralph Pricing, what a machine. 5th round pick in 2025. He has been a staple now in this bottom 6, moving into his 4th season as an Isle. Love it. New contract for him as well. Extension kicking in 2033-34. Yes. So, yes, we have our Curie. An upgrade on him would be nice, but then where does that upgrade go? So I think waiting until the halfway point or trade deadline does make a lot of sense. And although it would be tough to get Besser to be adaptable enough to think about playing on the left wing, we can definitely talk to Bates. And whether or not he stays right D long term, we can say right now. Actually, I can't do it now or at the start of the season. There's always a glitch at the start of the. I'd have to do it in like a week. We can talk to Bates and say, "Hey, can we have you play the right side?" Just like how we had Zupon go from right to left. And that's that. So let's start simming towards the preseason now. I'm sure little pop-ups are going to come our way. No thank you, Boston. Conversation with the coach. Yes, of course. Hi, GM Data. I think this season looks great. Listen up, GM Data. We have a great opportunity. Okay. Pump the brakes. I'll leave it to you. Your 100 management morale can get a +10 again. And I won't even look at you. Just go do your job behind the bench. We don't need to talk to each other. Okay. So, preseason time, the only thing we're really thinking about is the goaltending. I wonder how Riley Stepan will do in the regular season without the EA postseason voodoo, right? So, we'll rotate the 3 goalies, Augustine, Stepan, and Loktionov. I'll give a game or 2 to Boldzuk and to Arcuri, but aside from that, I'm not going to waste your time for the preseason. I'm going to go through those games, make those small changes. There's nothing to do for the forwards in the top 9. So, for this season, I'm just going to do the preseason and show you the results. Sheesh, all right, so a perfect 7-0 in the preseason, which means we're about to go below 500. But let's break it all down now. Through those 7 games, Bo top 50, Horvat 13 points, goal per game. Look at this guy. Besser, so Besser and Horvat leading the way as they did last season. A combined 25 points between them. Yzerman 11, Barzal 11, Kapanen 10, Martone 10, Yurchek 10. So there are, 7 point per game plus players? Keevan had 6 with 5 goals. Awesome. Engqvist 5 points +9. From the defensive defenseman with 5-star puck skills, so I tried to give him the proper ice time with the 4-man power play and whatever. We'll see what we can do. Akana 5 points, Dupont 4 points plus 10, Alexei with 4, Pispinen 2, Sandin 2, Bates in 5 games, 1 goal plus 6, Boldzuk in 2 games, 1 assist, even plus minus, Arcuri 2 games, 1 assist, plus 1. Nazarov 5 games, 1 assist, even plus minus. Pricing 7 games, 1 assist. Hornqvist no points and a plus 3. And for the goaltending, we saw some interesting splits here. So Stepan 3-0, but 864 save percentage and 3.33 goals against. Augustine 2-0, 895 save percentage, 2.5 goals against. And Loktionov in his 2 appearances goes 2-0 with a 966 save percentage and 1.00, exactly 2 goals against average, allowing 2 goals in 2 starts. So I would think just to start the year, we go Augustine and Loktionov, but we cannot so quickly forget what Stepan has done. We got to get him some reps as the backup early on in the season, and then we'll have a better idea of who our duo should be moving into the last 50, 60 games. So we'll start Augustine and Loktionov because we want to run with the hot hands and see what the simulation gives us, but we got to also give honor to the storyline. So if we go to our lineup here, I didn't even show you the power play, so I'll just quickly touch on that too. And also, by the way, Besser and Yzerman, they could be swapped, but Yzerman, now that he went from 86 to 89, we're hoping that full-time first-line position will do wonders for him as he scored 46 goals last year. So fingers crossed for the alternate captain. Let's see, power play. So unit number 1 looks like this, and unit number 2 looks like this, if anyone is curious. I'm giving Pispinen some time with his 93 shooting accuracies. We'll see if that works out, if at all. And then for the goaltending, so our opening night starter, of course, will be the Emperor, Trey Augustine, who's up to an 83 now. Okay. So sometimes that kicks in. Those off-season whatevers that you gave, off-season focuses will kick in after the start of the preseason. Anybody else changing an overall? No, it doesn't look like it. And on defense, no changes. So just Augustine up to an 83. That's nice. At least there's that. So Trey, the Emperor Augustine, will be our opening night starter on the road in Florida. Now that the season has got going a little bit, we can go talk to George Bates. Let's go talk to him. Sounds like Sir George Bates. He sounds like a knight. So let's go to on ice play. Adaptability is as high as anybody else. It's always in the middle. I don't know why. Position, and let's see, to go right defense. So very convincing to say, I don't want you to be a left D. But if I say right D, very risky. That's just risky, not very risky. So let's start with change position. And no, very convincing. We wasted our time. Okay. Goodbye. So I'll come back, I don't know, in a month or something. It's not the end of the world that we don't have him, that he's a lefty playing on the right side, but whatever. So, sim to the first game of the year on the road against the Florida Panthers, who we took down in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Final last year on our road to the Stanley Cup. So, an Eastern Conference Final rematch between the Islanders and the Panthers in Sunrise, Florida at Amerant Bank Arena. Let's do it. Game 1 of Year 9 for 2032-33. Here we go. First period action, and it's a 2-2 game quickly. Verhaeghe scores on the power play in the first minute 16. Reinhardt adds another. Then Alexeev, to begin his rookie season, starts off our season with a goal, and Brock Besser on the power play ties it at 2 as we're being outshot 15-11 through 20. Second period, 4-3 Isles, let's go. Sam Reinhardt scores his second on the power play to put Florida up 3-2, but then Kapanen ties it, and Porter Martone, after his career year, puts us up 4-3, and the shots are tied at 22, moving into the third and final period. 5-on-3 power play, it's Porter Martone with his second power play goal from Porter Airlines. Florida power play killed off, even strength with a 2-goal lead. We were down 3-2. We scored 3 unanswered. Power play Florida extended Panthers opportunity, and Bobby Brink will score that one to make it a 1-goal game now, stopping the bleeding. Shots are now 37-26. They were once tied at 22. Bo Horvat, the captain, puts it to bed. 6-5 the final as Samoskevich adds one late. Bo Horvat's goal ends up being the winner as Augustine allows 5-on-27 each, but we get 6-on-41 and take the game 1 victory. Reinhardt 2 goals, 2 assists for the Panthers to get him first star honors, but Martone 2 goals and an assist. Horvat a goal and an assist from the captain, and will win the season opener by a score of 6-5. Yeah, so that does concern me a little bit from Trey Augustine. We'll give him the game against the Blackhawks on the road here against King Archer's Shilovs. Victor Mancini on waivers. 1 year left, 850, 77 overall. I will decline. All right, so let's go see this game. I wonder if it's a slow sim thing or what, but actually we have a long road trip here, at least 4 or 5 games to start the year. Let's see how Augustine does here against the Blackhawks as I sim through this one quickly. First period, 1-0 Bo. Second period, 3-0 Yzerman and Kapanen. Third period, 3 goals in the third from the Blackhawks to tie it. Then Matty Barzal gets us the winner late. Shots end tied at 35, but we just squeak out the 4-3 victory. Joshua Watt a goal and 2 assists. Kapanen a goal and 2 assists. And of course, Brock Besser with 3 assists for third star honors. All right, so Augustine squeaks out that win. Now an 870 save percentage. I want to keep rolling with him for one more here. Then in the back-to-back, we'll get to see a little bit of Loktionov. So let's see against our rival here, Thatcher Demko, Noah Dobson, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, who we beat last year in round 1. 1-0 Blue Jackets after 20. Second period, 3-1, big comeback. Pricing scores twice, and then 1 from Kapanen. And third period, 4-2 the final, Dupont and Fantilli for the Blue Jackets. 2-on-32 past Trey Augustine. Second star honors, 2 goals from Pricing, 2 assists from Bo. There we go. All right, that's what we like to see. Now I'm putting Trey at an 893 save percentage. I'm going to give him this game in the slow sim. In the menu sim. That's what I'm trying to say. On the road against Utah. Maroon for Suozo and Yamamoto. I will pass. On the road against the Mammoth. 3-2 victory. Very good. Now here's the chance for Loktionov. Here in the 5th game of the season. Then you know what? Maybe the home opener can go to Riley Stepan. Maybe. But Loktionov will get his first start here as an Islander on the road against Vegas to continue the win streak. And yes, 4-0 Igor Loktionov with a debut shutout. How do you like that? Let's see this one. Loktionov ends up making 22 saves for the shutout, 2 goals from Barzal, including the game winner, and a goal and 2 assists from Oliver Kapanen. Wow, so 5-0 to start the year. Are we done the road trip here? If we sim to our next game, we have nice, 5-6 days off, it looks like. No thank you, Colorado. Are we finally at home after those 5 games? More trade offers. A second and a prospect for 2/3 and a rando. No thank you. Can we get to this next game, please? Long break, yes. All right, now still on the road here against Nashville. So you know what? Loktionov, take another, man. On the road against the Predators, who are 4-1-1. Mietin is healthy. I'll do that in a moment. Let's go. Loktionov, 4-1 win, Igor Loktionov! And we're still on the road. Oh my goodness. Now against the Canadians. What is this, like a 7-game road trip to start the year? Even more, 7, 8, 9. What's going on at UBS Arena? Trey Augustine, the game wants to give this one to Trey, but we can't. We got to stay Igor. Loktionov locking it down. Here we go. Contre le Canadien before we have a big game against Winnipeg. It's a 4-0 shutout. Igor Loktionov, who are you? 3 games, 3 wins, and 2 shutouts. I loved his AHL numbers, and I said, you know what? Let's throw him in the mix. And at least, even if he blows up from here, I think at least for that start, we can say it was worth it. Igor Loktionov, we got to give him another now against the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, let's see his AHL numbers again last year. 9 shutouts in 26 victories. Now in the NHL, 2 shutouts in 3 victories. So just crazy shutout ratios. And you know what? Even over here, 26-27 in the KHL, 7 shutouts and 21 wins. In the AHL with Hershey, 3 shutouts and 13 wins. So if he wins, it's by a shutout. That is ridiculous. 6 starts in his NHL career now. And yeah, 3 with Washington, 3 with us. Igor, we got to keep rolling with him. We cannot stop with Igor. Now we're facing off against Winnipeg. We've seen 3 Stanley Cup Finals against the Jets. They've been to, 4 in a row? They're 4-4-1 to start the year. We just beat them this past season to capture our 2nd cup in 4 years. Igor, keep it rolling against the Jets in Winnipeg. What? Igor Loktionov! 4 games, 4 wins, 3 shutouts! How is this possible? We got to be breaking some records here. Someone do the research in the comments. What is going on, Igor Loktionov? 4 wins, 3 shutouts, 991 save percentage, and 0.25 goals against average. 1 goal against on 115 shots over 240 minutes. What is happening? I've never seen this before. Igor Loktionov, you are not budging. Wow. Here we go on the road against the Wild. We're an 8-0 to start the year. We have our first at least 10 games on the road to start this season. Oh my goodness. Igor, I don't care about rest. I don't think you do either. Here we go against the 7-2-1 Minnesota Wild. 5-3 win. 5-0. Not a shutout, but still another victory. 9-0 to start the year. Is it finally the last game on the road? A lot of breaks in between these games too. At least it's accommodating for all the travel. On the road here against the Devils, and then we're on the road against the Lightning. Can we get a home game, please? The game wants to go to Augustine, but I can't do it until there's some reason to do so. Igor Loktionov locking it down. Here we go against the Devils, who are 7-4-0 at Prudential Center. 4-1 win, holding the Devils to just one. And then we have the Florida trip. Another couple games on the road. My goodness. Void in a sixth for a second. What are you thinking, Seattle? 10-0 to start the season. 10 consecutive victories to begin the year. I wonder what the NHL record is for most wins to start a season. Let me look that up quickly. We gotta get Loktionov back in, of course, the 79 overall. Now, if I'm doing this research correctly, I think the 06-07 Sabres and the 93-94 Maple Leafs share the NHL record for the longest winning streak to start a season at 10 straight games. Now, the 2032-33 Islanders have joined those two other teams, the first team in almost 30 years. It's like, what, 25, 26 years? Now, can we stand alone as the record holder at 11 straight victories, or will the universe not let that happen? Let's see. On the road here, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. History and another shutout. Loktionov. History with 11 straight victories to start a season. And it's a 6-0 shutout of the Lightning. Igor Loktionov. What is happening? Wow, wow, wow. These are not numbers that you get in simulation. I've never seen or heard of numbers like this in simulation. This is when you play your games, maybe. 7 games, 7 wins, 4 shutouts. 975 save percentage, 0.71 goals against average through 198 shots, 420 minutes. Igor, we can't stop. We can't. On the road against the Panthers, can we add to our record and make it 12 here? On the road against Florida, 4-3 shootout loss. So not a regulation loss, but there you go. The record stops at 11. We now hold the record. That's great. 11-0-1 to start the season. And now, purely out of wanting to give rest, I'm going to give Stepan one of these 2 games. I'm going to say, yeah, Stepan's going to get the home opener against the 4-12-1 Calgary Flames and Ethan Belchet's, Kevin against his old team. Riley Stepan, after winning the Cup on home ice for the Islanders, his next game will be the home opener as the banner goes up. That's very fitting. Augustine's going to be in the press box, and Loktionov's going to back him up, and then Loktionov will start the game against the Maple Leafs. So let's go in to see this one. Of course, there's no banner to see, so we just got to sim it. That's what I mean by going in. So let's sim the game. The home opener here against the Calgary Flames. The Stanley Cup banner goes up. First period, 2-2 game. Yzerman and Martone, then Garland and Iginla. 2 power play goals there, Joe Iginla. Second period, 5-3 Isles. Barzal, then Zary, but then Kapanen and Alexeev. 3-on-16 past Stepan, but we lead by 2, 5-3 Isles. Third period, 6-4 the final. Horvat adds 1 for us. Hansa gets 1 for the Flames. We outshoot them 31-30 and come away with the 6-4 victory as the Stanley Cup banner goes up. A goal and an assist from Martone, Yzerman, and Kapanen. And the first NHL regular season start and victory for Riley Stepan, because technically, yeah, he had never played a regular season game, so congrats to him. As now we'll go back to Loktionov for this game against the 7-10 Maple Leafs. So I will allow Augustine to stay as backup, though. I'm not going to take him out of the lineup entirely. He hasn't really done anything wrong, but it's just Loktionov's been, what's the word, a beast? A figment of our imagination. Here we go, at home against the Maple Leafs. 5-4 shootout loss. All right, so Loktionov allows 4 in this one, but I do not care. Now at home once again, so we have a little bit of a homestand finally, now against the New York Rangers, who are 8-9. The menu sim seems to be working well for us, so I don't want to stop. MCL sprain for Bo Horvat. Oh, no. That's going to keep him out for about a month, it looks like. Maybe 5 weeks. I forgot what day it was. So Oliver Kapanen will move up in the lineup, yes. I'm going to say Barzal goes to center, and Kevin moves up in the lineup, as opposed to moving Hakana to second-line center. Yes, so +5, and then Pispanen's going to get a chance in the top 9. Nazarov can go to... Actually, Nazarov's a right winger, so Nazarov can go to the right wing, and then Arcuri will fill in at fourth-line center. Okay. What day are we here? It's November 21st. 3-2 win against the Rangers. So about 4 weeks for Bo Horvat being out. So that's long enough that I should fix the lineup and not have Arcuri playing like first line power play, first unit power play center, I mean. So allow me a moment to do that, as well as updating the scouting reports, and then we'll get right back to it. All right, back to work, and a big game here as we are 13-0-2, hosting the 13-4-0 Pittsburgh Penguins. Loktionov, let's see what you got. Let's do it at home. Brock Besser, no pulled groin. Thankfully not out for long at all, but he's going to miss a few games here. So this is where Alexeyev now gets a chance in the top 6. I'm going to say Nazarov gets onto the third line. Why not? And then, do we bother calling up a forward? It's such a short injury. I suppose we have to. And we're going to throw Paulson in there. Welcome aboard. Frederick Paulson, a first-round pick of Minnesota in 2026. He's been in Bridgeport for now his second year there. Point per game down in Bridgeport as well, so that's nice. And even though I say replace in all lines, he doesn't go in all lines. Okay, such a process. Here we go. Against the Penguins, ended up being a 5-0 shutout victory! Another shutout from Igor! What can I say at this point? What can be said at this point about what Igor Loktionov is doing in the year 2032 AD, Anno Domini? 2032 Anno Domini, Igor Loktionov has 9 wins and 5 shutouts, undefeated through 11 games in regulation, 9-0-2, 958 save percentage, 1.25 goals against average, 5 shutouts in 11 appearances. Trey Augustine, how many shutouts does he even have in his career as an Islander here? He had 4 last year, 10 through 114 wins. Oh my goodness, Loktionov is not human. He is not of this world. On the road now at MSG. The game's going to keep putting Augustine back. You know what? As long as we're winning like this, it's time to get a bit more serious. Auto goalie rotate's going to be turned off. I don't think I want to say, okay, Augustine out, Loktionov as our long-term starter or whatever, but at least for a little stretch here until he starts to falter a little bit, and eventually it will come down. But we can say through 9 wins, he has 5 shutouts, and nothing will ever change that. All right, back to it. On the road at MSG. I don't even go to the calendar. We're doing so well here. 5-4 win. We're 15-0-2, undefeated in regulation through 17 games to start the year. 15-0-2! We gotta stay in this form of simulation. I can't go to the calendar if we're gonna keep winning like this. On the road against Philly, they're 15-5-0. We beat them 5-1. Only 1 goal against Igor. Now against the 15-5-2 San Jose Sharks. Very difficult opponents here. Let's go hosting the Sharks. 6-5 win. We're not taking that regulation loss. We're 17-0-2. Now, can we get a 20th consecutive non-regulation loss here? On the road against the Red Wings, we're 13-9-1. Igor, let's do it! 3-2 shootout victory! 18-0-2! I don't think we've ever seen a team like this. Would that be crazy to say from NHL 18 to 25? Have we ever had a start like this to a season? 18-0-2 through 20 games. We got to give Augustine a start here because he can't sit there forever, and it's back-to-back. We got to let Igor rest. Can Augustine continue the streak that we've been on, hosting the Blackhawks? Of course, we lose 4-1 as soon as Igor comes out. First regulation loss of the season in Game 21 of the year. You know what? I'm going to give Augustine another just because. Let him bounce back, and then we'll go back to Igor. Let him bounce back. Let's go. Bounce back, Trey. 2-1 win. Well done. Now we go back to Igor. And Besser should be back now. Yes, he is. Let's see. Paulson, how you doing here? Paulson, in 6 games, had a goal and an assist. There you go. Very nice. So, 6 games. Let's see. What did Alexeyev do in a second-line role? So, in 6 games, he had a goal and 2 assists as a +3. All right. So, Besser back now means we'll swap everything back to how it should be. For the 5-on-5 lines, yes, at least as of still having Bo Horvat out, yes. How's Kevin doing? A little spoiler sneak peek. 17 points in 22 games, very nice. And on the power play, we'll just swap Kevin and Besser back. Okay, I'm going to keep Paulson up until Horvat comes back. Then once Bo Horvat is healthy, I'll go ahead and send him back down to the AHL. So, and then finally, of course, Loktionov back. Okay, here we go. Hosting the 15-9-1 Nashville Predators. Oh, I didn't want to sim it, but okay, we'll sim it. Let's go ahead and see this one at home against the Preds. First period, 1-1. Ear check for us. Second period, 3-2 Preds. Brock Besser for us. And third period, 7-4 Preds. Of course, so Lokhtianov will implode in the slow sim, but in the menu sim, he'll have 5 shutouts in 9 games. Yeah. So let's just continue the experiment here. Now, after a 7-4 loss, let's see how we do in the menu sim with Lokhtianov against the Devils. Here we go. Against the 17-8 Devils, lose 5-3. Okay. I'm going to give Lokhtianov another one here on the road against the Red Wings, who are 14-11-2. Against Detroit, 5-2 victory. Very good. Igor, get back on the horse, baby. Hosting the Bruins, who are 7-12-6. 5-2 win. How many games are we at now? That's 26 games. Keep it rolling. Let's go Lokhtianov here. Then Augustine's going to get a chance against the Canadiens. Lokhtianov against the Golden Knights, 6-3 victory. Now we'll give Augustine a start. I'm sorry about Riley Stepan, but, these are extraordinary circumstances, I think we can all admit, right? Hosting the Canadiens for a 3-1 win. There you go, Trey. There you go. Let's try and get Trey in here a little bit more. Bo is now playable. He won't come into the lineup just yet, but now Paulson will be sent back down. All right, hosting the Capitals, who are 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. Here we go, Trey. It's a 2-1 victory, a bit tight there. And now Bo Horvat back to full health, so Arcuri will come out of the lineup. How has he done? Francesco Arcuri, 5 points, a -2 in 14 games. All right, not bad. We'll fix up the lineup now. All right, we're back to full health and ready for a big game on Christmas Eve against the Buffalo Sabres, who are 13-18-1. Let's see if Lokhtianov can keep his crazy streak going now after we give a couple games to Trey Augustine. A little Christmas gift in the stocking. 5-4 shootout victory. We'll take it. Thank you, Igor. Then we'll have a Boxing Day special hosting the Detroit Red Wings. We're 16-15-2, 5-2 victory. We're going to see Buffalo again now. Here is where I'm going to give a game to Riley Stepan, a little post-Christmas present for him. Lokhtianov's getting a full-on break. He's going to be a scratch. He's going to be enjoying the holidays. He's going back for a late celebration overseas. And we're going to go Stepan and Augustine to end the year. Let's say that. So here we go on the 27th. With Stepan as our goaltender. 6-0 shutout. Riley Stepan, we missed you. Riley Stepan with his first career NHL regular season shutout in just his second career start. Riley Stepan now 2-0 in his NHL regular season career. 1 shutout, .931 save percentage. So that is now our, how many did Lokhtianov have as well? 5 shutouts. So we have 6 shutouts from 2 goaltenders who are 72 and 79. That is ridiculous. Augustine, no shutouts for him, but 7 wins. But still, just to say, the 83 has none, and the 72 and the 79 keep getting it. So Riley Stepan, between his regular season and the postseason, he is now, if we look at it, 11-3-1 with 2 shutouts as a 72 overall. Incredible. We're going to keep Stepan in, why not? After a shutout victory against the Sabres, now facing the Oilers, who are 19-14-1. The last game of 2032. Brock Besser, upper body injury. We're going to say head coach replaced. Maybe he's back by the 1st. Let's cross our fingers for that. 5-4 shootout victory to end off the year. Riley Stepan remains undefeated, and we move into the 2033 calendar year. I wonder if Besser's healthy enough here for... You know what? I'm just going to keep it how it is. Let's just have Arcuri play where Besser is, and he can come back for the game against the Canucks as we're going to be in Vancouver against his old team. Here we go in Seattle against a 13-20-2 Kraken 2-1 loss. And it doesn't say Besser's back yet. I guess the least I can do is just make a couple changes in the lineup, but I don't want to have to do anything big with the special teams. Besser, playable injury, not back yet. Lokhtianov, we're going to bring him back whenever we have our first home game. We're going to say he's still overseas. I'm going to say let's give another game to Riley Stepan, and then we'll go Augustine against the Oilers. Besser's back to health. Very good. On the road, 2-1 win, Riley Stepan. Let's go. And now on the road against the Oilers, we're going to go Augustine for the Oilers and the Flames. Or at least the Oilers, then we'll see how it goes, maybe. Besser's back, so Arcuri will come out. Now Augustine here against the 20-15-2 Oilers. We're getting close to that halfway point now. We're at, 35 games? All right, here we go on the road against Edmonton. A little Canada swing. Oh, we got shut out for the first time this season. 2-0 loss for the beginning of the Western Canada swing. It's only 2 games, but a tough 2-0 loss. Let's see if we can bounce back. We'll keep Augustine in. Only allowed 2 goals, maybe 1 empty netter even. And then Lokhtianov will be back in town after his little leave and he'll be between the pipes against the Devils. Here against the Flames, 11-3 victory. We got shut out for the first time this season and followed up with 11 goals. Okay, that's fine by me. We are 35-2 as Loktionov is back on Long Island now. I guess we keep Augustine as the backup, but Riley Stepan, man, he has still got it. I don't care if he's a 72, he has still got it. Loktionov is back. He's well rested, enjoyed a nice extended Christmas break with the family, and now here we are against the 29-10-1 Devils. They want win number 30. We just got that. We're 35-2. Two of the best teams in the league right now in the same division. Here we go against the Devils. No thank you, Vancouver. Here we go against the Devils, and it's a 4-3 shootout victory, gaining 1 point on them. Amazing. And another random trade. No thank you. This is now game 39 on the year, hosting the Capitals, who are 17-18-5. Loktionov's in for another one. 6-0 shutout! Igor back to vintage, as in 2 months ago. Loktionov locking it down. Master's lock. I don't know what phrase we can use. Igor Loktionov, 6-0 shutout. Let's give him one more here against the Flyers, and then we'll end off the first half with Augustine. 5-4 overtime victory. And we'll finish it off with Trey Augustine to end the first half of one of the most dominant first halves of the season I've ever had in franchise mode. Can we be on pace for 68 wins? Let's see if we can end with 34, or will it be 33? Here we go against the Blue Jackets. First period, 2-1 Columbus. Kempe and Fantilli. Nazarov scores for us. Second period, 3-1 Kent Johnson. The slow sim hates us, which is not good news for the playoffs. And we lose 4-3 as Barzal and Kapanen score late, but that is just our, sixth regulation loss of the year? Yes. So we're 33-6-2 at the halfway point on a pace of 66-12-4. Oh my goodness. Let's start breaking everything down. I would assume we're atop the NHL right now. Yes, but the Devils aren't far behind. They're on pace for about 60 wins themselves. But yeah, the points percentage at 82.9. Sheesh. Goals 4. Only 2 teams in the league above 4. It's the top 2 teams. 4.05 for us has a second. The Devils are a third of a goal up on us at 4.37. Wow. Goals against 2.37 by far. Yeah, we're the best in the league for goals against. Power play percentage at 32.7. Wow, number 1 in the NHL. Devils right behind us. And the penalty kill at 80.8. So not bad. Closer to the bottom than the top. It could be better. The penalty kill could be better. So we can work about that. We can work on that, I should say, for the second half. Now for the points, here we go. We haven't looked all season, so now's the time. And Porter Martone and Cole Eiserman are leading the way with 49 points in 41 games, both on 98-point paces. Identical 19 goal and 30 assist seasons so far from Porter Martone and Cole Eiserman. Wow, wow, wow. Both 26 years of age. Oliver Kapanen, who filled in as first-line center for a little bit, on a pace of 94. 4 of his 13 goals are game winners as well. That's cool. Last year, he had scored 85 points. That would be a career high from him. Just getting better every year since we got him from the Canadiens as like a maybe middle six guy, and then boom, 89 overall. David Jiricek, 37-41, on pace for 74 points. So if we can continue his trend of getting better every year, 23, 32, 42, 51, 56, now on pace for 74. Oh my. Brock Besser, 36-33, so he missed 8 games due to injury, but he's above a point per game and looking as good as he looked last season. Even Bo Horvat has 35-27, so he is 1 goal away from the team lead with 14 less games played. Oh, if only he hadn't been injured, but I get it, he's 37 now. But still, 35 points from the captain. Barzal, 33-41, on pace for 66. Keevan on pace for 66. Awesome. His ice time's been up and down as he was in the top 6 for Horvat's injury. Zupon only on pace for 44, but still plus 23. I'm fine with that. Ralph Pricing on the 4th line has 19 points in 41 games, playing 908 of ice time per night. He's on pace for 38 points. Meanwhile, Pispinen, who saw some third-line minutes, he has power play time as well, 4 power play points, only 17 from him. Sandin, 15 points and a plus 25 from him as a veteran. Alexeev is surprisingly not impressive. 14 points and a plus 13, that's it, on pace for 28 points. Playing, not a ton of ice time, but 13, 15 per night. I'd want to see a bit more from him. The third line, even the bottom 6 in general. Hakana even, 14 points, playing 12.5 minutes per night. Maybe if we take Pispinen off the power play and put Hakana there, that might be the move. Nazarov also 11 points, -2 in 41 games. It's really the top 6. Hornqvist 8 points plus 21. George Bates 7 points plus 12. Arturi 5 points -2 in just 16 games. So look at him. Ulf Engqvist 4 points plus 12. Then for the goaltending here, so all three of our goalies have been really good, but Igor Loktionov is 21, 1, and 2 with 6 shutouts, a .924 save percentage, and 2.18 goals against average. Trey Augustine in 12 appearances is 8 and 4 with a .909 save percentage and 2.68 goals against, and 72 overall. Riley Stepan is 4 and 1 with 1 shutout, a .915 save percentage, and 2.17 goals against average. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Department of Defense right here. I'm speechless with what the goaltending has been doing this year. The top 6 scoring, on pace for 66 wins. So Jesper Bratt has 70 points in 43 games. Wow, to lead the league right now. Defensively, where's Yurchek? Yurchek is 4th behind Hudson, Fox, and Makar. All right. There's no adoption with 35. Resurgence season from him. And for the goaltending, let's see, I wonder. So minimum, let's say 20 games played. There's Loktionov with 26 games played. So he hasn't appeared in as many as some of the other guys with like 37 out of 42 or 43. So I really hope he's going to be in the Vezina conversation if things continue. The best save percentage by far. The best goals against average by far. Yes, the most shutouts as well. Gustafsson has 5 in 35. Loktionov has 6 in 26. Wow, but still, Gustafsson 5 out of 21 wins. Loktionov 6 out of 21 wins. Degler has 4 out of 15 on a bad Buffalo team. What else can be said at this point in the season right now, eh? So let me know your thoughts moving into the second half. First, answering the question that I spoke about at the beginning of this episode. How should this series roll out over the next 5 or 6 or whatever, 7 weeks? Do we want to see part 1, part 2, season, off season, 4 episodes for a season? Should we do an entire season in 1 episode, in 1 live stream? How can we get the most out of this series before we wrap it up by mid-July or so? So let me know your thoughts on that. Maybe contract extensions. We can also look at the trade blocks very quickly, but that's going to be a super quick look because we're on pace for 66 wins here. Porter Martone, are you still wanting crazy money? 1 year at 13 million, yeah. Or let's see, 8 years at 21 million. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll keep him as an RFA. Matty Barzal currently making, what, 10.6? He'd want 1 year at 7.5. We could do that, or we could just wait to see if more regression happens. Not really a rush on those guys. Besser at 10 million. He wants 10 again. So yeah, same thing. Kevin, let's guess. He wants 8 by 19.5. No, 5 years, 8.1. Okay. 8 years, 10.3. He really wants the 5 years. So if we give him 5 years, even a full no-move clause, just, I don't know if we'd give it to him, but just to experiment, how far could we get him down? Probably 7.5. Yeah, 5 years at 7.5 would be what we're talking about on Kevin if there's a full no-move involved. Hornqvist is going to want 6 by 6, right? 4 by 6.5 as an expiring RFA. We could go 3 years and keep him in the RFA conversation, though. Yeah, that's more likely. Hakana wants 1 year at 3 million. We could go even longish term on Hakana, I wonder. Pispinen, I wonder if we could even trade him. He hasn't been doing much. He's going to be expiring RFA who's going to walk to free agency. He hasn't been bad, per se. But I wonder if we think about moving him for some other bottom 6 piece. He wouldn't want much to re-sign, but I don't know if we really have room for him longer term. Any big surprises who are growing in the unsigned players? No, no sir. But Breland from a 70 to a 73. Nice. Boris Breland with 10 points in 30 games over in Russia right now. Boris Breland has grown, which is great to see. And to finish off with the trade blocks, remember that we have $10 million in cap space right now. A first, a second, 2/3, a fourth, 2/5, a sixth, and a seventh if we want to think about trading or acquiring any draft picks. Sorting by overall, Capo Caco and Jordan Kyrou both on the block, but both with term. Boston has DeBrusk on the block, 88 overall expiring contract, but where would these top 6 guys go, right? Poitka, 3 years left. Ogren, Novak, Buffalo, not so much. Calgary, Carolina, Isaac Lundstrom, and Rosean. Chicago, Colorado, Columbus, there's Jordan Harris there. Brindley in Columbus, Matejchuk, Kempe, Werenski not open to coming here, Girard, Goncalves. Dallas, not much there. Detroit, some prospects. Edmonton, Luneau, Florida, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville, New Jersey. The Rangers have Cardwell, Senators, Flyers. I forgot, I wanted to help out the Senators and take some money so that they can sign Pierce Roy, but the AIGM never worked out. Sorry, Ottawa. Pickering there in Pittsburgh. San Jose. Seattle has Mitch Marner expiring. 35-year-old Mitch Marner, 84 overall. 9 goals, 26 points, -7 in 43 games in his first year out of Toronto, but playing 15:47 of ice time. Maybe put him on the third line. If there's injuries, but really be on the fourth line. Does he want to play fourth line but chase a cup? No cups, right, for Mitch Marner? No, just a Lady Bing in 2027. So that's an idea. Voigt, Kesselring, and Marchment. St. Louis, Howard, Neighbors, Fagemo, there he is. For the Blues, Tampa, Duck, and Bjorkstrand, Svozil, Lindholm, Timmins in Toronto. Utah, Sakura, Fabro, Vlasic. Vancouver, Jake Evans. Vegas, no one. Washington, Prospects. And Winnipeg, Colangelo. All right, so there are some names to keep in mind at the halfway point moving towards the trade deadline. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching an incredible first half of year number 9 as we chase back-to-back Stanley Cups and what would be a third cup in 5 years. We're halfway through the regular season, but that's just it, the regular season. We have to have playoff performers, and we have to have players who can perform in the slow sim, as the calendar has been incredible, especially for Loktionov, but the slow sim has not really been our friend. I'm not sure what our record is in the slow sim in this episode, but it was close to 500, I think. So, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I know I did. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this episode. You just gotta let me know your thoughts after what we've seen in this first half, as well as, like I said, your thoughts about how the series should move into the next 10, 20 episodes. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when uploads and live streams come your way. And I look forward to seeing you once again in the next one as we try to achieve not only 60 wins, but perhaps our pace of 66 or more to close off our 9th year on Long Island.